What is going on, guys? It's Mr. Very here, and today I'm doing another video for Mr. Very Speaks, the channel. And we are talking about two things that I think have a lot in common, which are labels and the two-party system. I personally think that labels are very restrictive, but I do understand the practicality of them. Um, because you want to be able to explain something to someone quickly with a label. As in, if you want to explain your political views quickly, you can say, well, I'm a libertarian, or I'm a Republican, or I'm a Democrat, or I'm an anarchist, etc., etc. Um, of course, there's a lot of diversity within those groups, which is why I don't like the labels, because I don't think it I think putting a label on yourself kind of diminishes your views, and people may misunderstand where you're actually coming from. Um, but I do understand the reason for it, and I understand that it helps us rally together with like-minded individuals so that we can get progress. And I totally support that. Um, And I would consider myself socially liberal slash libertarian. Fiscally, I support mixed capitalism, um, so that like large corporations like Walmart, can't fuck over their employees any more than they already are. There has to be some regulations. I'm sorry, the whole laissez-faire, the invisible hand will guide itself bullshit. No. I'm sorry. That's proven time and time again not to work. I mean, if you look at the industrial era, excuse me, in the early 1900s, the factory workers were getting paid shit, and they were working in unsafe conditions with no regulation. That's why we have regulations. Anyway, so that's a little bit about labels. Now we're going to go on to that. We're kind of going to bounce between the two-party system and labels. Now the two-party system is in America, and I believe that it's a facade. And if you don't know what that word means, it means it's sort of an illusion, because we do not have to vote for a Democrat or a Republican. We can vote for whoever we want to. And believe me, when you go to the ballot, there's a hell of a lot more people than the person who won the primary for the Democrats and the person who won the primary for the Republicans. And I believe that we should vote for who we think is the most fit, and not say, well, it's the lesser of two evils, so I'm gonna vote for this guy because if not, my vote will be wasted. No, don't fucking do that. That makes no sense to me. You're gonna vote for a corporatist shill, knowing it's a corporatist shill. Uh, yeah, and there's a false dichotomy. Also, that's another thing I wanted to get into between Democrats and Republicans. While they may differ on some issues, they're all corporatists. They're all bought out, and they all have similar agendas. And while their agendas may differ, the main agenda is make fucking money and don't give a fuck about your constituents. And try to get reelected. That's really the end game. So as I was saying, they really don't have much of an interest in their electorate or their constituents, and that's a big problem because that's why we, the people, vote for them, is because we want to vote for someone who has our best interests in mind. And I'm hard pressed to say that it's been a long time since I've seen someone who has our best interests in mind who's actually in office. Um, there's a couple people who stick out and actually stand up, and like Elizabeth Warren comes to mind. I think that's who it is anyway. I might be wrong. Um, but yeah. So another thing is uh, when it comes to labels, we have also many words have been demonized by American culture and mainstream media. And what I mean by this is the media depicts these words or ideologies in very negative ways. So if you say to someone on the street randomly um, that you are this thing, like for instance, the words that I wrote down are as examples were a liberal. Liberal has a very negative definition in the country at the moment. Socialist slash communist, that's had a negative definition in this country for forever. But half the people who see it as negative can't even give you the definition for it. And that's the fucked up part. And then atheist. Atheists are there's poll and poll and poll and poll again, where studies have been done that show that atheists are the most distrusted, most disliked, like believed to be the most immoral group, and so atheist has a very negative connotation, at least in the United States. And I myself am an agnostic atheist, and I have been for a long time. I don't think that'll ever change, but a lot of my ideas have changed, so who knows? Let's see, what else did I want to cover? So, anyways, the main thing is if people actually took the time to research all the candidates and the third party ones, and not focusing on the corporatist shills that are making millions of dollars, well, and sometimes billions, in fundraising for their ads and for their campaigns, and we actually focus on the people who want change and want to better our country and actually will listen to their constituency and their electorate, that sounds a hell of a lot better to me. And I would much rather waste my vote on someone who I believe can actually do the job properly than vote for someone who I think is going to be just as shitty or shittier than the last president or governor or what have you. And the analogy you can use for this is with work. It's like, okay, well, I would rather. Wouldn't you rather take the better paying job, even though even if it's a little bit harder to get? Wouldn't you rather take the better paying job with more benefits and easier work and better coworkers, better benefit? I already said benefits, etc., etc., than a low paying job with harder work, shitty bosses, and people are choosing that instead, in the analogy, that is. So this is the way that we can take our power back. And the thing is the two-party system really makes it so there's not much diversity. And that's what we want, is diversity. We want diversity because a diverse marketplace of ideologies makes it so we have much more choice in who we want to choose as our president, as our governor, as any representative. And I just believe that with more candidates, it means more stiff competition. And if these parties were recognized in the mainstream media as Democrats and Republicans are, then things would change drastically. Now, I know that's not going to happen, but I'm hoping that maybe people will start to realize that Democrats and Republicans are a false dichotomy, that labels are restrictive, and, that we should vote for who we want to vote for, not the lesser of two evils. Anyways, I digress. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, comment on this video with any feedback you might have for me, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and you enjoy the content I produce. Also, if you would like to donate to this channel, you can do so below. And I have my gaming channel linked below as well. And I think that's about it. All right. Thanks for watching, guys.